Welcome to Unbridled Horse Creator, a brand new horse game that you can now get for free on Steam. I will leave the link in the description. I've actually played Unbridled before. It is known as Unbridled That Horse Game, and they've been in development for a few years now. And they do have a free demo build of the actual game that you can play as well, but it is still in like an early development. And as far as I know, there haven't been many developments to the released versions of the actual game, but this is actually the horse designer, horse creator. Please note that even though this is separate, this is still not the final version of everything. The creators have said on different people's YouTube videos and in comment sections that there is still glitches, that they're still actually working on remodeling the horses, adding more patterns, adding more coats and things like that, so there is always still more to come. But it did just release. It is currently 8 PM for me, so I'm a tad bit tired, and this is my second time filming this because my computer blue screened and I lost the footage. It's okay, I'm okay. So this isn't my complete first reaction, but let's get into designing the horse. The music is actually very pretty. Even though it's pretty though, I'm going to turn it off so that I can have a consistent music in the background. But let's move into designing the horse. It is so difficult whenever things like this happen, and I swear they happen to me all the time, but it is my own fault. I just need to fix my faulty hard drive because I end up I'm not sure if I'm repeating myself from a previous recording, I end up forgetting to say stuff because I said it in the other recording, which is still fresh. It's fine. So I apologize for this video. So here is our first look at the horse, and I must say that it looks really, really good. It looks like, comparing to some of the first previews we got of the horse, this is looking so good. I think something that can be really hard with realistic horse games is getting a high quality looking texture. I can barely talk at the best of times, let alone right now. Also around the eyes, I often notice it can be a bit of a struggle, and also the hair. And the hair is a struggle in any video game, you know, just look at any video game, and I feel like the hair is always going to be a weaker point, which is why I think that sometimes there are benefits to the more cartoony style, because you can kind of get away with more blocked hair and it looks good, and you found a design that you can do really well. Anyways, that's beside the point. There is a lot of stuff to look at right now, so we're going to start with the left hand side of the screen and the user interface over there. So first things first, you get to choose a name, and we're going to choose the name Duke. I actually took this off of my Discord server. Here on my Discord server Pixel Paradise under Star Stable, we actually have a whole section for horse names, and I just kind of randomly scrolled and chose one from there. Next up, we have the gender of the horse, so you can choose a mare, a stallion, or a gelding, and it actually changes things, if you know what I mean. So I think I'm going to make Duke a stallion for this. Next up, we have personality. We've got calm, hot-blooded, sleepy, or wild. And obviously these don't really change anything now, but they'll change things in the game in the future. So I think we're going to make our little Duke a little bit sleepy. You can also choose favorite snacks, and I absolutely love it when video games add favorite snacks. I just feel like it's that teeny tiny little detail, but just makes the horse feel more real. It really helps me personally have a connection with my horses. So we can choose apples, carrots, blueberries, or beetroots. And I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of giving a beetroot to a horse, so I think it just has to be Duke's favorite snack. Next up, we have the tack preview. So there is none. Now apparently there might be some clipping with a tack, and they're aware of it, and it's because they recently made some horse model changes and they haven't adjusted all the tack and things like that. But when I looked through these, I didn't actually notice too many things weird, and I actually feel like it looks really good. I do feel like some of the textures look a little bit plasticky. I'm not sure if it's just the lighting in the horse creator, but it makes the cloth look more like a raincoat texture versus a soft cloth, on the saddle blanket here. It looks very shiny, and don't get me wrong, it is a lovely shine, lovely texture. I just feel like it looks different. It looks more plasticky, unless that's the texture they were going for. Then it's OG. We also, this is one of my favorite ones. Like, this is just so cute, you guys. Oh my gosh. We also have a Western set here. Another black English riding set, and a lovely yellow color also. I love these noseband bridles so much. I don't know why. But I think just to get the full effect of the horse, we are going to go ahead and just have a no tack. All right, moving over to the right side, we actually have 3 tabs, and we're going to start in presets. These are pre-made horses to kind of show you a bit of an example. So we've got a few here, and they all look really cool. As I was saying before, you know, people can struggle with having like a high quality looking horse, and especially around the eyes. And I have to say, well, that's close to your nose, buddy. I have to say that I think the eyes actually look really good. The eyes actually don't look weird. I don't know if you guys, ooh, was there like a gap in your nose there for a second? I don't know if you guys know this, but The Sims 4 is actually coming out with horses soon, and one of the things that I have noticed about them is I think the eyes are my least favorite part, at least for some of them. So I am excited to actually play The Sims 4 horses. I'm a bit of a simmer, so I'm really excited to create content on one of my favorite games because it finally matches in the horse content of my channel. But I am excited to maybe see what like custom content creators can do around the eyes for The Sims horses, but obviously The Sims has a very different vibe to what Unbridled is going for. I'm not comparing the two whatsoever. I'm just saying that Unbridled has very nice eyes. The hair up in this like braid is also really cool. I think it looks a lot better because there's not like the flinging of the physics. I think the only thing with the hair is just the physics. It is very like jittery. You can also see on the face how it doesn't really follow the horse's body. But once again, hair is just really hard to do. And also these horses look very high quality as well. Honestly, like they look really good. I'm really enjoying them. Obviously my favorite has to be the Pinto. Love myself a Pinto. And there's also this little gray one here, which is just precious. I don't know why. I love it. Moving along, we have the Customize tab, and this is where the user interface can get a little bit overwhelming. Now, there's a few things that I would like to say about the user interface. I feel like it is a little bit big and claustrophobic, whilst at the same time making the actual sections feel really close together and claustrophobic, even in this big user interface. I think that having a lot of things to open and close might also be confusing. Oh, the hair is glitching out right now. But I think, for example, now that we've finished choosing the name, the gender, the personality, the favorite snack, it would be cool if we could completely X out of this left panel, because then I would be able to see more of my screen. It would make things feel a little bit more clean. If I quickly switch to the third mode, you can see that it does actually disappear in the photo mode, but the horse isn't centered in the screen over now. So if I turn it around, the horse is now behind part of the user interface. So I think there's still some things there that could work. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm happy that they released this, but obviously, like, I don't know if they're really going to add changes to this, or whether it's just a way to kind of show the continued development of the game. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should have read a few more things. I tried to read as much as possible. I always do. But yeah, we're just going to go through things one thing at a time. I think that it could be beneficial to kind of put these under more categories so that you don't have to look at them all at once and feel overwhelmed, or even have more of a simplified horse designer and you can switch it to from simple to advanced, because people might find it overwhelming to choose between the left eye, the left lashes, the right eye, the right ashes, and the whiskers. So maybe if they were compiled in like a simple mode, so you could choose just like the face hair colors where it changes the lashes and the whiskers together, and then just the eye color. So then it's like 2 options instead of 5, and just like when you're just getting to know the game or even getting to know horses, you know, I guess we can't assume that everyone playing... I just realized that I didn't change any of Duke's settings anyways. We can't assume that every person coming to a horse game is knowledgeable in horses or something. I don't know, it's cool to see people who like video games then learn about horses, I guess. But yeah, we're just gonna get started. We've got like brown, grey, lots of different options, and I love it. Light blue. I don't know why, but like the black in the center, I don't know if it's a reflection of the blue in the background in the void of space of the horse creator, but it's like purple and it's throwing me off a little bit. The one thing that I did say was I wish that there was a darker brown, like a deep brown, you know, like borderline black eye color, because I feel like sometimes on like the black horse, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but like the brown, like these lighter brown eyes kind of stand out a lot. Also, did I mention this before? But I feel like blue eyes are one of the harder things for horse games to get right. And once again, I think these eyes look really good, so I'm gonna stick to brown. You can also change between black lashes and white lashes. I said this before and I didn't fact check myself, and I'm still not going to fact check myself, but I believe that white lashes might be for more when the horses have blue eyes or something, or if they have like white pattern around their eye, that's like a lack of the coloring in their like genes in the skin, so that's also makes the lashes white, but don't quote me on that. You can also do the same for both sides as well. I think we're gonna stick to black, to the black whiskers. I was like, maybe white whiskers could be a little bit fun. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a black horse. But we are moving on to the coats. Now, as you saw before, this faded black is actually rather pretty, but there's actually quite a few coats to choose from. There's also the sparkles next to each one. Those are actually randomized buttons, which I think is really cool. It's kind of nice and subtle. I like it. So there's a bunch of different colors, and there's also like you can have you'll have bay, and then you'll have bay dappled, and you'll have blood bay and then blood bay dappled, versus just choosing like a blood bay and then having a dapple slider like there is in a stride. But I guess actually this game doesn't really have any sliders. It is very just like choose one. But that being said, it doesn't feel like it lacks horse customization. It is still a horse customizer, so I still think that this is very good for a horse customizer, but there's always going to be like even more customization that you could have, you know? There is also some special coats, and I believe like this one here is gorgeous. I love this one. I believe that these are like Patreon horses, so it might be like real life horses converted into Unbridled, which is really cool, or like the Patreon thought of a horse that they wanted added and they added it. So I think that's really cool. I absolutely love this special coat, but we're not going to be using it today because we're going to be making our own. I actually really like the coloring of this chestnut here, but you see, I've already like filmed a video with it, so now I kind of want to do something different. Maybe we'll do this faded black. Oh, it's basically black though, and I always do like dark colored horses. Also, you can't change the markings for your dominant white horses or your grey A horses or grey B horses, because, you know, they're basically white already. I don't know if that's a real life, because in Rival Stars, you could have a dominant white horse and they could still have a pattern, but you can't see it. I don't know if that's just how Rival Stars has to work, or whether that's a realistic thing. Let's maybe randomize. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's randomize one more time. Oh, it still gave me, okay. It really loves that. It really wants me to use the sealed brown dappled. Okay, fine. We'll use it. Next up, we have markings, and there's actually quite a lot of head markings, and I actually really like the look of them. I also think that they look really good, like visually as well. I kind of wish that there was an option to have like 2 or something, so you could maybe like overlay 2 and get something even more unique. But yeah, I love the options. Like there's even just like the little snips here, but it would be cool to like have a snip alongside having a blaze as well, or something like a shorter blaze or a star. But it's still a customization, and I absolutely love like the apron face and the blazes here. They look absolutely awesome. I love this one here. It's got a little snip around the eye, which I think we're going to use for this horse because I'm not a massive fan of steel bays, and this kind of hides the like light brown a little bit. It hides the part which is the seal bay. But let's move along to the body. There is only a handful of body patterns, but I do believe that this is something that they said that they were working on adding on to. I do think that it would be cool if you could once again, I know this is more complicated and possibly like too much, like there's so much customization and then there's like too much customization. Am I on an angle this whole time? Sorry, you guys. But it would be cool if you could choose like a left side pattern and a right side pattern. And I know that like some of them would kind of like overlap a little bit, like it's not perfect, but it could still be cool if you chose the left side, and if they overlap, they overlap. I don't know if that made sense. Like, as I said before, I barely make sense at the best of times, but right now it's like late at night. But I actually really like the look of this Overo C pattern. I think that looks rather cool. And now we've got a bunch of leg patterns, I also had never heard of an ermine spots pattern before. I like it, but I think it's a little bit funky. Like, I don't know how I feel about it right now, so we're not gonna do it quite yet. But yeah, there's just a few little options. It's not quite like how in a stride you can incrementally move it up the leg, which was really cool, but there is still, you know, you've got your low ones, your medium ones, and then your higher ones, which is very nice. So I think for Duke, we're just gonna go ahead and click the randomize button for all of them. And our last, oh no, we've got the ermine spots in one of the back legs, but it's okay, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it. Moving along now, though, we do have the hairstyle and hair color, and I was actually really like happy to see, like, it's really cool. They've actually separated the fur lock out from the mane and the tail. So I was actually like, I really like the look of the braided buttons on the full lock, and then you have like a longer mane. But I think for the purpose of like the physics just not being quite right, I am going to leave the mane just in a braided button as well, because I think it just looks the best with like the hair physics for now. Unfortunately, you can't braid the tail, but the short is the best physics wise, which honestly I actually kind of like the short, but otherwise I really like the long as well. But I'm actually really vibing with the short for this horse. And you can also, of course, change the coloring of the full lock mane and tail separately as well. I don't really know. What if we did a dark brown? Is that weird? I think it's a little bit weird. I think I'm going to stick to the black. I know it's super boring, but I kind of have to. I had a chestnut horse before in the recording that I lost, and I did something a little funky where the mane, I loved the chestnut color on the mane, but the chestnut color on the tail looked ever so slightly off. I think it was just the lighting, so I did a black tail. I know, crazy of me. But I love that you could just customize like those little features of the horse. There's also a big randomize button at the bottom, but this we have Duke, and I actually think Duke turned out pretty cute for me not liking Still Bays that much. I'm sorry. Let's actually see what he looks like with some tack on. Not a massive fan of the blue on him. This, adorable. You can't go wrong with a cute little blanket. Oh, the coral is okay on him. I think it's like a corally color, right? Pinkish color. This one here, stunning, my man. We've got the Western. I actually really like the Western on him. For someone who doesn't ride Western, I wear a Western attack a lot. And we've also got the yellow. I don't know why. I feel like he only looks good in like the black colors. I feel like the other colors are clashing with his brown. But let's move on to the final section, which is the photo mode. As I mentioned before, I wish the horse moved over. Oh yeah, the thing that I got used to it from recording for like half an hour. But if you move your mouse to the right, the horse turns left and vice versa. It's inverted. And I don't know if there's a setting to change that. But yeah, just so you're aware. Now here is actually where things get fun, because there's actually a few little animations. There's idle A, idle B, which has a little head shake, and this just makes Duke come alive, you know. Idle C with the little head movements, like look how cute he is. We then have idle D, idle E, lots of idles. We've got a little leg scratch, look at that. Ooh, it is interesting to see how the pattern fares, and the hair. Maybe this is what they were talking about, because I was reading a comment and they were saying they're aware of the neck moving, so maybe that's what they're talking about, the neck stretching in this leg scratch animation. Oh, we've got a pee off, that's so cool. That's nice. I think that the like animation on the short tail here is actually really nice for what it is. Do we have any? We've got a walk as well. Oh, that's a nice walk. I mean, I feel like there's something like you can have a nice horse walk, but if you don't have a nice character walk, it makes everything look off balance and stuff. But obviously we're not looking at characters yet, so yeah. We also have a walk half pass, a little trot. Oh, look at the tail, it like, you know what I mean? Yeah, there is a bit of like head neck glitching there, but they did say that they were still working on them. Whoa, look at that job! It's like a little, but it's not the worst thing that I've seen at all. Let's do, I actually really like the pee off, maybe for like a photo or something. Oh, you can pause the animation so you can get, oh, but it only pauses at a certain like position. Oh no, you can change the, never mind. That's pretty cool. You can also move the camera. Oh, awesome. Then you can get the really cool pictures. Next up, we have filters that you can add: black and white, vignette, a bit of a balloon. Whoa, we're under the ocean now. And then you can take a screenshot. Oh, I wonder where it saves. Let's go ahead and randomize the horses that... He's a fancy gentleman. He is a fancy gentleman. I have an addiction to this. Just like getting to know different horses. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, the brown is a nice little choice there for you, my guy. Maybe let's do a little... What about a little trot? Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, I know that this is like a pre-made coat, but like... Oh, you can't blame me. Oh, that's a gorgeous little picture there. Oh. Oh, I'm addicted now. Let's get you in like a little blanket. Oh. Stunning. Stunning. Well, I think that's going to be the end for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy I hope you guys did enjoy it. Once again, you can play this game, this horse creator, for free. In the description below, there's a link to Steam. Let me know if you want to see me create any specific horses on here. It is a little bit limited, but I am excited to see where Unbridled goes from here. If you're interested in other horse games, then on the screen right now is going to be where I recreated Star Stable horses into another horse creator called Astride, which is also really cool if you haven't seen it already. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all later. Bye!